Boom. Good afternoon, world, and happy Monday. I hope you're feeling good inside and out. And I can confess that I am feeling pretty good in my internal state, my external state. Body's feeling good. And I can only wish that most of us can feel that same way. And speaking of feeling good, that is probably the most important thing. And especially an important thing that we can give to the children, give to the next generation, give to the youth that are going to come up into this world to do amazing things. The most important thing is that we feel good. Although some may argue that and say, well, you can't feel good all the time. You're going to have to do some things that don't make you feel good, but are necessary in life. But I would argue that if you don't feel good, you can't do good. We can look at this thing holistically and say, if you don't feel good on the inside, sure, you might be able to do something that makes someone else feel better, but at what cost? If you're not feeling good, then that part of the circle is incomplete. So when we look to do things effectively in life, we want to make sure that it's all connected, that we're paying attention and we're addressing all things with equal amount of consideration. So we cannot give of ourselves, which takes away from our own well-being, in hopes that it'll make someone else's life better, right? Because we're ignoring the connectivity between our life and that outside life, that other life that we're looking to improve. So taking care of yourself is hugely important. Now, self-care is a buzzword lately. It's something that a lot of people are paying attention to. And a lot of people feel that it is disregarding what needs to get done in life just to selfishly take care of yourself, so to speak. But it's not just bubble baths and spa days and long walks in nature, although those things are a part of that. But it's really just being aware of what's going on in your interiority, the inner experience that you're feeling. What's happening there? Is it pleasant? Is it joyful? Is there something behind the scenes or behind the curtain that's nagging at your consciousness and making you feel upset, making you feel unloved, unwanted, unheard, or unseen? These are very important things to consider, because while we have a smile on the outside, right, and we move through life, with joy and with gratitude, at least as it seems to other people, we may be harboring some unresolved or undealt with or unnoticed feelings on the inside. And that can fester, that can eat away at our spirit, that can take away from the genuine joy that we're supposed to feel. So it's really important to have time to yourself. I highly recommend a contemplative practice, something like meditation or prayer, where you set aside a time and a space to sit down and reflect on what's happening in your interiority and do a little bit of an assessment to say, these things are working, these things aren't working, and try to figure out what best way to move forward for you is. Now, there's a whole host of different things that you can do. I won't get into all of them. I already kind of mentioned meditation and prayer. It depends on what your spiritual practice is, what your belief system is. There's a whole host of things that you can, attend to or undertake in order to feel better. But it's really important that we keep the eye on the prize, so to speak, and make sure that we're feeling good. When we look at how to get to a feeling good place, we really have to start with what we're thinking about. Our minds are like trash bins or recycling bins. We can only give out what we take in. So we collect all of this sensory information from the world around us. We use that to establish a point of reference or a framework for how we want to view life, how we want to perceive life and all the experiences within it. So we take in what's in our environment, and then we formulate some sort of weird equation, and then we give back out in the form of a personality. So we have to monitor what we're taking in, what you're watching, what you're listening to, the relationships that you have. All of that is information that's coming in that you're either consciously or unconsciously using to formulate who you are and how you feel. So those thoughts, monitoring those thoughts, hugely important. Does it serve me? Does it not? Should I hold on to it? Should I get rid of it? Very important questions. Now, how you think is how you are going to feel, right? It's impossible to have bad thoughts and feel good. Conversely, it's impossible to have really good thoughts and feel bad, right? If we're really talking about being honest with ourselves, being truthful, being very upfront, we know that we cannot do good when we feel bad. We can fake the funk, we can front, right? We can hold on to this harbored resentment or unresolved conflict, and we can go put on a smile and act like we're being nice to each other and kind and compassionate. or generous or philanthropic or altruistic, all big words. But we know deep down within that there's some dissonance. We're not really there in the moment. We're not being present. We're not giving the gift of ourselves that we know to be the greatest gift we can give. So it's really important to monitor those thoughts and really think, what's important to me? Can I let out this truth right now to help smooth out how I feel on the inside, help resolve this conflict, this inner conflict that I'm feeling? That's what I would recommend. That's often the higher road. That's often the more difficult path to chart, but that's the one that's necessary. If there's something on your mind, there's something that needs to be said, there's something that needs to be relieved from your consciousness, it's hugely important and beneficial to you, right? And everyone that you come into contact with, that you do that work, right? That you look in, take that inventory, do that assessment, say, this is what I need to get out. I'm going to let it out. I don't care what happens. And then just feel comfortable in that. Feel the courage that comes along with standing in your truth, just like that. So once we iron that out, now our thoughts are resonating at a higher level. They're vibrating at a higher level. And we start to feel good based on those thoughts. We're more optimistic. We feel safer. We feel supported. We feel seen. We feel heard. These are all amazingly beneficial things that we can kind of internalize and acknowledge. Once we feel good, then we can start to act on that. If you're walking around feeling good, feeling great, feeling enthusiastic, hopeful, positive, then what are the chances that you're going to go out into the world and do amazing things? They're pretty high, right? When you have this sense of gratitude, this sense of joy that bubbles out from within and, out of the surface, onto the surface, right? Out from you, then people notice that. They feel good being around you. They feel welcome being around you. They feel safe being around you. And they feel that they can be themselves. So just as negativity and pessimism and fear is contagious, so is optimism, enthusiasm, and joy. Now, that's a very fundamental understanding. If we can, take that as truth, then how we go out and present ourselves in the world is going to drastically change. And that's what I think we need now more than ever. People who are thinking good thoughts, absorbing good information, people who are feeling good inside, feeling true to themselves, feeling brave enough and courageous enough to let that out into the world. And also those who are doing good, those who see where there is a need for compassion, kindness, generosity, and then act upon that. Okay, so many of us can go through life and kind of see what needs to be done and feel like it's not our responsibility. Feel like we can pass the buck, give that responsibility to someone else, and they'll take care of it. But I would argue that has got us into a very tumultuous state as a society, as a world community. If it's not seen, then out of sight, out of mind, right? That comes with the way that we handle our waste. That comes with the way that we handle our internal conflicts, our fears, the things that we hold away from others because we're afraid to let them out. So we don't want to ignore anything. We want to step up and take full responsibility for ourselves and take full responsibility for our immediate environment. As I said before, it's contagious. The way that you think, feel, and act are contagious. And I'm hoping that we can make joy, love, positivity, and gratitude and service to others more contagious. So that's my call to action for you on this Monday afternoon. As always, I hope you're feeling great. I hope you're feeling good. I hope you are willing to step up to the plate, look at what is going on internally, work through that with the help of others who are here to help you, and then feel good so you can do good. I wish you all the peace, love, and strength that you need to get through any challenges that may stand in your way, any obstacles, and know that someone loves you, someone's here to support you, and wishes you the best now and always. Let's go get it, y'all. Peace.